The shocking truth is that sometimes the silence of heaven is not God ignoring you, but God preparing you. And if your prayers seem unanswered, there are hidden reasons you must confront before breakthrough comes. The first is unconfessed sin, because Isaiah 59 verse 2 declares that sin separates you from God, and when you secretly harbor bitterness, lust, or dishonesty, it becomes a barrier between your voice's ear. So until you repent, your prayers feel like they hit a ceiling. The second is wrong motives. For James 4 verse 3 says you ask and do not receive because you ask with selfish desires. And many times what you pray for is not about advancing God's kingdom, but feeding your pride, your comfort, or your image. And the Lord in His mercy will not hand you something that would ultimately destroy your soul. The third reason is unforgiveness, a hidden chain that blocks heaven's response. For Mark 11 verse 25 warns that if you do not forgive others, your Father will not forgive you. And when your heart clings to offense, your prayers lose their power, because you cannot seek mercy while refusing to give it. The fourth is spiritual timing, because Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 reminds you there's a season for everything, and sometimes your request is not denied but delayed, and God's "not yet" is actually a shield of protection, holding you back from blessings you are not mature enough to carry, like handing fire to a child who is not ready to hold it. The fifth is lack of persistence, because Luke 18 tells a persistent widow who wore down the unjust judge until he acted, and Jesus used this to reveal a shocking principle. If you give up too quickly, you may forfeit what was already on its way, because faith that endures draws heaven's attention. The sixth is spiritual warfare, a hidden battle you cannot see with your eyes, just like in Daniel 10 when the angel explained that Daniel's prayer was heard the first day, but the prince of Persia resisted him for 21 days until Michael came to help, which means your unanswered prayer might not be silence, but a war in the unseen realm where persistence becomes your weapon. The seventh is that God has something better than what you are asking, because Romans 8 verse 28 assures that all things work together for good to those who love Him. And sometimes what you plead for so desperately is actually beneath the level of glory He intends to release. So His denial is not rejection, but redirection, shaping you for something greater than your limited imagination could ever conceive. And if you are wrestling with unanswered prayers right now, do not mistake the hidden reasons as evidence that God has abandoned you. For He hears every word. He bottles every tear, Psalm 56 verse 8. And His delays are often the soil in which your deepest transformation grows. So the real question is not whether He will answer, but whether you will trust Him long enough to see that His wait is always wrapped in love, His no is always protection, and His final word is always greater than your first request. If this word awakens something in your spirit, share your thoughts in the comments, seal your agreement with a like, and stay aligned with what God is revealing by subscribing and turning on the bell so you never miss the messages He is sending in this season.